Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm coming at you guys with another Heart of the Swarm matchup. It's been a while since I've casted a game, about a week, but I am back from the East Coast. As you guys all know, BlizzCon went on. I actually just made a video about some of the balance changes that happened today. And also some interesting games are coming out pretty soon here. We have... God, I just forgot. Storm Heroes of the Storm, I think is what it's called, and it's supposed to be a Dota 2 make from the official Blizzard, and I'm actually pretty excited about that. I'm gonna try to get a beta key, and I might actually do some videos regarding Heroes of the Storm because I am a big fan of Dota and Heroes of Newerth and League of Legends, MOBA games in general. I love them. I play them a lot. I just haven't really ever got into casting them, but since this is an official Blizzard version, if I can get a beta key, I'll see if I can't make some videos for you guys. That'll be really exciting. Anyways, as you guys all know, BlizzCon is now over, so I am going to be casting some exhibition matchups for you guys. This is going to be a Zerg versus Protoss. We have SantaSam as the blue Zerg player at the top right-hand corner of the map, and his opponent is going to be WhiteRa, the red Protoss, in the bottom left. I haven't casted WhiteRa in a very long time, and it feels like forever since I've casted a game. So, really stoked here, and I'm told these are supposed to be pretty good games. As always, if you have any good ones, send them in to me at HDreplays@gmail.com. So yeah, this is going to be a PvZ. It's a big map. We actually have a gas and pool opening here for SantaSam, who is part of Team CFES. I actually don't know who, obviously, SantaSam is, but I'm going to assume that he's a very good player. Actually, to start this game off, I think they had a little bit of chat here. So yeah, SantaSam here is kind of stoked that he's playing WhiteRa, which, you know, doesn't happen every day. And WhiteRa is a very good Protoss player. He's a household name. We do have a pylon opening here at the front door, and that's an interesting spot for the pylon. Is it blocking the Nexus? I don't think so. I think it's just barely in the right spot, and I think WhiteRa is just, you know, he knows the position, he knows how to play Starcraft, Tetris, and he has everything set up really nicely. And actually here, a quick Zergling speed opening for SantaSam, and WhiteRa has sniffed this out with his probe. No expansion from the Zerg player. He is going to try to bum rush WhiteRa here with some really early Zerglings. And WhiteRa says, I don't care, I'm just going to go for the Nexus anyways. And this is really interesting. How's he going to be able to defend here? And in the meantime, WhiteRa also blocking, or looking to block off the expansion with the pylon. So there is the pylon coming up. Zergling is now on the way. It is worthy to note that this is pre-patch, obviously. There's no way I would have a replay post-patch, as the patch update just came today. But there isn't any really major changes besides Oracle and Bird Roaches for this matchup. And look at these Zerglings. They're going to try to take out this pylon, and they will be able to do that. That is going to depower all the buildings coming up here, and WhiteRa will need to erect a new pylon to power up the gateway. And although this pylon will not be able to provide energy for the gateway at the perimeter, that's why another pylon is coming up. Meanwhile, Zerglings have sneaked on into the main base, and they are going to go for some probe kills here. One probe has gone down already, but that is going to be it, and most of the Zerglings, more Zerglings coming in here for SantaSam, and Zergling speed kicks in, and he is going to try to get in here and really apply the pressure in the beginning of the game here to WhiteRa. And if WhiteRa doesn't have a Zealot coming out soon, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And of course, if the pylon goes down, then he cannot produce Zealots. He's just going to have a Mothership Core here in order to defend, and that is not going to be enough. Gateways are depowered, and WhiteRa is in so much trouble. More Zerglings continuing to flood in here, and how in the world is WhiteRa going to be able to defend this? He actually has a gateway back at home, where a Stalker has been produced, and it's going to be down to a Stalker and probes to defend here. Never a good situation if you are Protoss. You can see that WhiteRa is trying to use the hold position micro in an attempt to confuse the Zerglings, but the Zerglings are too smart. They're intelligent lings. They go right for the Stalker, and it looks like WhiteRa has lost 7 probes already. He is going to try to repower his gateways, trying to photon overcharge his Nexus and get some form of defense up at his natural. If he can defend the natural, he thereby defends the main base. and finally, after what seems to have been much trouble, he is going to be able to get a defense up here with the overcharged Nexus basically being all that prevents WhiteRa from GGing out of this game. And if he can just get another building up right here, another gateway, he should be able to seal the wall. More Zerglings are actually on the way right now, and WhiteRa seals it at the last second. He gets the gateway up, and I do believe that is Zergling proof. It is. And now Zergling's going to try to take out the gateways. This is a risky maneuver for SantaSam. He could end up losing a lot of forces here for really no gain whatsoever. And I don't know if I agree with this. He is going to really try to go for this gateway. He busts through. The Photon Overcharge has worn off on the Nexus. And in SantaSam here with a risky gamble, but it looks like it is going to pay off huge dividends as he gets into the natural expansion once again. Now going to kill off a sentry. More probes are going to go down. And WhiteRa to start this game off here is not in a very good position. He has lost several of his probes, and back at home here, more units are warping in thanks to that gateway back over there, and the pylon, obviously. A couple of Zerglings going to be able to leak on in. And SantaSam here with a really aggressive ZVP style. He has not grabbed a third expansion. He has not played it to the book like most Zerg players. You know, they would go macro and, you know, oh, I'm going to get a bunch of expansions and drone up and then play for the late game. No, SantaSam says, I'm going to bring the pressure now, and I'm going to end the game, if possible, in the early game. And I really like this aggressive play style. It's exciting. It puts the opponent to the maximum test, to the maximum pressure, and if they cave in, then they can lose, you know. And SantaSam here really bringing the pressure. He's gonna try to bust through again, and look at this. WhiteRa tries to seal the hole with the Zealot, but he misplaces the warp in, allowing Zerglings to leak on by once again. And WhiteRa here in a very tough spot, but you know what? If any player can hold off the aggression, you know, it's a player like WhiteRa who no doubt has countless practice against, you know, players like TLO who are very aggressive, very creative players in their own right. And if WhiteRa can hold this off, I mean, more power to him. Can he do it? It looks like he's going to lose more probes. 22 workers have gone down this game already, but WhiteRa is preparing for a major attack. He's bringing out a big army. He's got proxy pylons all over the map, and it looks like he's going to prepare to just go eye for an eye. He has finally killed off all the Zerglings inside of his main base. And now, really, I think WhiteRa just says, I'm just going to try to go for a counterattack and try to end this game. But SantaSam has got roaches on the field, and you know, roaches are very good against gateway units at this very early stage. I don't think WhiteRa can actually break through this. It would be, you know, really risky to attempt to break down this front door, and I don't think it's worth the risk. But in the open field, he actually has a pretty big edge here, and he's going to take advantage of it. Great force fields, forcing the roaches to go around, and thereby forcing them to stay a little bit longer, and taking the fire from the Stalkers and the Zealots. And I actually think their SantaSam probably didn't need to push out. He needs to play a defensive game now because WhiteRa has taken map control. And really, SantaSam doesn't need to push out because he should have, you know, theoretically, an edge right now, an economic edge at the very least. I'm looking at his drone count, 38 to 30. I guess not as much as you would have thought, and maybe SantaSam going for such an aggressive opening has limited his options a little bit, has limited his macro, limited his ability to, you know, have a big drone edge over the Protoss player. And really, you know, I'm kind of thinking about the stats here, 89 to 58. You know, WhiteRa probably behind by a little bit, but if anything, I actually think it's a pretty even game right now. Really, you know, kudos to WhiteRa for being able to, you know, hold off that type of aggression and stay in contention. But now he's going to be dealing with a lot of roaches, and they are making their way over. Mothership Core still staying in this game. This thing has 22 kills. I mean, it's been alive since the beginning of the game. Incredible. And look at this. We have an Immortal on the high ground. Force Field's coming out as well. And I think with the Immortals and the Sentries here, it's very unlikely that SantaSam is going to risk attacking up that front door, because if he sends his roaches up, you know, we'll see force fields blocking them in, and this Immortal is just going to have a heyday. It is going to, you know, dominate those roaches very easily. So SantaSam here, I think, with the right decision to pull back, take out these proxy pylons, get another hatchery going, and now it makes a lot of sense to you know, play a little at this mothership core, still chasing these roaches down. She's got 22 kills. I mean, that is incredible. Have you ever seen an Executor mothership core? This is going to become, well, I don't know what the final level for, I think Executor might actually be the final level, but maybe they become like Adjudicator or something crazy like that at 100 kills. Who knows? I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm a Starcraft commentator, but I don't know what all the names are, unfortunately, for all the kills at the kill levels. Not like it really matters. All cosmetic stuff. And we do have a Zealot coming over here. It will instantly be greeted by the Carpet of Creep. And obviously WhiteRa will need to bring a Stalker or something over there. Get a third expansion going. He knows that the Zerg already has a third hatchery coming up. And I think WhiteRa is pretty comfortable with where he is in this game because he knows that he's got even bases with the Zerg. I'm surprised that there is no anti-air units being created. You know, where is the Hydra Den? Yeah, there it is. SantaSam is going to go for a Spire. So there, finally, SantaSam is going to get something to, you know, get a little bit of air control here. He's got a lot of roaches on the ground, too. This is a pretty scary roach army, but, you know, I think WhiteRa, knowing that there's so many roaches, you know, he's going to have a lot of Immortals here and Stalkers, and he's getting Blink too, and he's going to bring, look at this, 2 Immortals through the Warp Prism. This is classic WhiteRa, and he is going to try to, I guess, kill off this hatchery, but there is a lot of roaches coming back home, and I think this is probably going to be force these Immortals to get inside that Warp Prism, and one Immortal does go down there. Unfortunately, the Hardened Shield wasn't able to withstand firepower of that magnitude, and WhiteRa wisely pulls away with his remaining force, his remaining Immortal, and he's going to try to, you know, be annoying for as long as possible here. It's all part of, you know, harass and deny, and really WhiteRa trying to keep his presence felt on this map as he actually brings his entire army over here. Let's take a look at the upgrades. No upgrades for WhiteRa, actually. He has no ground upgrades. He's actually now finishing +1 weapons, so that'll be something that'll be really handy as the Zerg army has +1 as well. And WhiteRa here coming in, planning to do a big attack. He's got 2 more Immortals once again, and he's got his ground army here with a pylon to reinforce, and he's going to be forced to engage here. Guardian Shield coming up, allowing these forces to take a little bit less damage from the roaches. A lot of forces coming out as well. The 2 Immortals just firing down on these roaches, and WhiteRa should win this battle, I think. Yeah, there are his reinforcements coming in from the left. His Immortals obviously being microed into the Warp Prism. Very nice micro by WhiteRa, and he keeps his Immortals alive. Look at this Immortal here. It's got red HP, but WhiteRa with brilliant micro. And he's going to be able to overpower SantaSam's Roach army. And now this is a big problem for SantaSam. Will he be able to macro up quickly enough to defend against the attack that's going to come in his third expansion? Another Warp Field comes down. The Mothership Core goes down finally. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see how many kills it had because I really wanted to know, you know, just how dominant that Mothership Core was this game. It looks like SantaSam here might be able to muster up a defense here thanks to his high ground and, of course, reinforcing from right at his hatcheries. You know, it's a big benefit when you have your forces coming in just a few screens away. And looks like SantaSam will be able to defend his hatchery. So nice job. Oh, look at this. WhiteRa uses the classic Blink Stalker, you know, using the Warp Prism to get vision of the high ground and brings the Stalkers in. But, you know, minimal damage right there. And, you know, he's being aggressive. I like this play so far from WhiteRa. He's showing SantaSam that, you know, he's not the kind of player that's just going to sit back and play a passive style of StarCraft. If you want to be aggressive, I can be aggressive right back at you. And in fact, WhiteRa just now is getting the third expansion up. I mean, this is a really late third expo for WhiteRa, but he can afford to do it because he knows that the Zerg doesn't have a fourth expansion yet. So, you know, it's not too bad for WhiteRa, although right now he is down in supply by about 60. So, you know, I'd like to see WhiteRa maybe just fall back a little bit here and get his macro on the way, because this game looks like it is going to go into the late game, and if that's the case, then WhiteRa will need to make sure that his third base is functional. And yeah, he's going to pull back his forces now back to home. We actually have the Forge now researching +2 and a Dark Shrine on the way here for WhiteRa. I guess he wants to get some DTs out. Dark Templars are just so good when used correctly in any matchup. And here comes SantaSam here. He's got a nice little army with mostly roaches and some Mutalisks as well. This is interesting. At 20 minutes, you know, neither player really on tier 3. WhiteRa does have one Immortal, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He will need more Immortals, and I'm surprised he's not making Immortals right now. Hydrogen on the way for the Zerg player. And these roaches are actually very, very risky business here for WhiteRa. He does have a lot of sentries. He's going to be able to protect this expansion at the north side. But what about the natural? As the roaches come barreling through, Stalkers using Blink to get behind more Stalkers, basically the weakened ones blinking behind to keep them alive. And I think WhiteRa here, very nice control, gonna push out now, and he should be able to win this fight. Great play by WhiteRa. And once again, just using Blink Stalkers to gain the edge. That Immortal is going to go down, but at the end of the day, WhiteRa is going to win this fight. He just has too many forces, and a great game by WhiteRa so far. Although more roaches are being produced, I actually saw like a bunch of roaches on the way on the production tab, so SantaSam here keeping up with his macro, but he's going to lose this battle. Excellent. Excellent defense by WhiteRa, and that's just excellent, you know, game sense. You know, he knows to fall back. He knows to keep his army spread out, some at the natural, some at the third, and just wait for the Zerg to overextend, and then he blinks forward and aggressively pushes the Zerg army back. And this has been, you know, the game of just continual back and forth action between these two players. Really liking this matchup so far. WhiteRa actually has taken the upgrade lead here at +2 weapons. We do have +2 on the way from the evolution chamber, obviously, but typically, you know, it's usually the Zerg who stays up on upgrades, not the Protoss. And you know, that's one advantage that WhiteRa obviously is going to want to make sure he utilizes to its fullest. Having an upgrade edge is huge. And Dark Templars were warped out. Not sure where they are. There we go. So DTs here are on the way. They are cloaked masters of disasters, and they can do so much damage. But I think there are overseers on the map. Let's take a look. Units tab. One overseer with the main core of the Zerg army. So these two GTs, it looks like they're going to go up to this expansion here, the 4th expansion, and I think they'll be able to deny it. I really don't know what Sam can do about this. His army is out of position. DTs just do so much damage. Spore crawlers are coming up, but it's going to be too little too late. And this hatchery is going to go down, it looks like. No overseer nearby near enough. And that is the strength of Dark Templars. When they have +2 weapons, they do 55 damage apiece. It doesn't take long for hatcheries to go down. And now the thing is, you know, SantaSam, he knows that Dark Templars have been produced. So the appropriate response now is to make sure you get spores and spines up at all of your bases, or at least an overseer, some form of detection. And SantaSam, I mean, he has a spore crawler here, but he's a little late to react. Will he be able to get his forces back here in time? And yes, it looks like he will be able to. So nice play right there from Sam. WhiteRa, meanwhile, moving up to the left-hand side. He's going to encounter the Zerg army. But, excuse me, he is going to actually be able to push his army away. And SantaSam here, obviously looking to spread out his forces, make sure that he's got armies to defend, you know, on both sides, both corners of the map. And unfortunately for him, looks like he's gonna be pushed back. Meanwhile, more DTs coming in from the Warp Prism, and SantaSam here getting a little bit flustered by these Dark Templars. And like I said before, this is the danger of DTs. They are just so effective. Sometimes they just force Zergs into the most awkward position. And now SantaSam says, screw it, I'm just going to attack. But I don't think he's got enough forces here. This is very risky. Will he be able to punch through this Protoss army? I don't know. It looks like reinforcements are coming in, and SantaSam might have enough to break through here. Colossus are being produced, but WhiteRa is being outnumbered now, trying to bring the Warp Prism back home, trying to deposit the DTs in, and he's got DTs in position. There are overseers here, however, and the DTs quickly evaporate due to the presence of the overseers, and this is going to be a very close battle. It looks like WhiteRa will have to pull back just barely, but he's got Colossus coming here, and once the Colossus come out, they will be able to help defend. And it looks like SantaSam taking out the pylon there, looking to depower and of course prevent reinforcements from arriving. Really nice job. Roaches and Hydras now moving up to the top expansion. Hydra speed is about to kick in as well, but the Colossus has made its way out onto the map, and the Colossus is going to be the great equalizer here. Not sure what SantaSam can do now, really. An attack that almost broke through the soft underbelly of the Protoss player. Could have done a lot of damage, but at the very last second fell short. And you know, great defense, I think, from WhiteRa, from the Protoss player. Getting that Colossus out was absolutely huge. And now this game is just so close. 110 supply to 89 supply. Let's look at the units lost. 21,000, 23,000. I mean, you know, the players have just been playing such a high-level game here. And I cannot wait to see who's going to win this game. 27 minutes in now, and I still don't know. You know, I think it would behoove Santa to, you know, get, you know, a hive. You know, he has hive down, but get something out of this hive technology. He doesn't have +3/+3, so I don't know why he went to hive. He doesn't have a greater spire. Yeah, you know, he doesn't have Ultralisks. Why is he on hive tech if he's not going to utilize it? You know, is my question. And at this point in the game, you need to start thinking about tier 3 units, because WhiteRa's got tier 3 units. A little bit of a skirmish out here as the Stalkers look to defend their outpost. And they will be able to. WhiteRa now making his move. He might actually make an attack over here at this hatchery. And SantaSam here, I mean, he's still got the supply lead, but it's looking pretty thin now that the Colossus are on the field. This is really risky for the Zerg player. He needs to get some forces over here and defend immediately, because this expansion could actually go down. More reinforcements are arriving for WhiteRa. It looks like he is going to make an attack here, and this is a big army. Lot of firepower here, and I don't know if SantaSam is going to have enough to defend. He needs to get more, you know, he needs to think about getting some Corruptors on the field here to deal with these Colossus. A lot of Mutas, actually. He's going heavy Muta here, which of course circumvent the force fields, and they are pretty good against Colossus, but when there are this many Blink Stalkers, you've got to be careful. They all have +3 weapons as well. Look at this, WhiteRa has kind of, you know, set himself up to be able to laser down this hatchery from far range, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to take out this hatchery. No defense here from SantaSam. He just says, screw it. I'm not even going to try to defend. You can have the hatchery. And WhiteRa is going to take that with ease. Now, SantaSam might have put himself into a spot where he will be forced to go all in. And I think that's what he's going to do. There's no hope of defending now. He has to go all in and try to base trade with WhiteRa. And will he have enough? This is it. This is it. This is going to be the conclusion to this game. +1 flyer attacks are coming as well. That's going to help, obviously, these Mutas. And it's going to come down to the final, you know, who's got the last buildings remaining, who's got the remaining forces. These probes are going to retreat back home as WhiteRa, actually not home, but they're going to retreat away from the main base of the Protoss player. WhiteRa now realizing, okay, it's going to be a base trade. Then I need to keep my forces alive. I need to keep my probes alive. And SantaSam here coming in. He's got to take out these buildings. WhiteRa is already in the main base of the Zerg player. I think if you could see this race, you know, on a bar graph, I think WhiteRa would be winning right now, because he's taking out the natural, he's taking out the third, he's taking out the main right now. And SantaSam still needs to catch up a little bit, although, you know, he's taking out all the pylons. So for all intents and purposes, WhiteRa is depowered now. Oh, but he's got a mothership core, and he warps his Stalkers back home. Brilliant by WhiteRa. I mean, I think he made that mothership over here at this Nexus, and it came out and he just warped all of his units back home. Brilliant play by WhiteRa, and even more brilliant was he warped back only Stalkers, because he knew that only Stalkers could blink out of the main base. So great play by WhiteRa, just trying to buy himself a little bit more time. I love it. And excuse me, the mothership core obviously not coming out of the Nexus. I'm totally confusing myself. It was with the army and warped back home some of the units. Great play. And now there is a DT here, and I don't think that that SantaSam has an overseer. I don't even think he has a layer, so he cannot produce any detection, and that is a big problem here for the Zerg player. He needs to get a layer up, but before he can get a layer, he needs a spawning pool, and that was a big oversight by SantaSam, not producing any form of detection or not keeping an overseer alive when he knew that WhiteRa had Dark Templars on the map. And this is going to be a big problem now for SantaSam. How does he deal with these DTs? He's actually fallen behind in supply now to WhiteRa, 57 to 82. And so, I think WhiteRa here might have the game. I think he's got the edge. He's got more forces. He's got the DTs. though SantaSam does have mutas, and you know, mutas can be the great equalizer here if it comes down to a battle where, you know, there aren't enough stalkers and sentries. These mutas can take out the Colossus, and they don't have to worry about the DTs, obviously. Now we'll see what happens as WhiteRa moves up to the top hand side. Gonna try to take out the remaining buildings. In fact, SantaSam only has one hatchery over here in the bottom right-hand corner. Barely any drones to mine with. He's lost his final form of detection. I thought he would have tried to uproot that and keep the Spore Crawler alive, but he did not. And it looks like most of his roaches here coming over. They were coming back to save the Spore Crawler, I guess. But a little bit too late. And now, you know, if you look at the game, WhiteRa's got a Nexus coming up. He's got 3 probes, but he's got probes nevertheless. He has a Nexus. He's got actually 2 Nexi, so he can produce probes pretty quickly. He's got a sizable bank, you know, 700 here, whereas the Zerg only has 1 hatchery remaining. I think SantaSam is in trouble here. And the army, obviously, greatly favoring WhiteRa. Oh man, just hugely favoring WhiteRa. Look how many stalkers he's got. Units showing 19 stalkers, 2 Colossus. Yeah, this is not good for SantaSam, but he's gonna try to take out this Nexus, but it's not gonna work. And he's not paying attention. He's gonna lose some mutas here. Those stalkers with +3 weapons are very deadly. They do a ton of damage. And, you know, SantaSam continuing to try to find opportunities here. He's going to try to take out this Nexus, but I think this is a death sentence, because now he's going to be caught between the overcharged Nexus and +3 stalkers, and his roaches only have +2/+1. So he is going to lose this game. WhiteRa looks like he's going to have the victory here. Oh, hallucinations! And that's it. I don't see SantaSam winning this game. Great game by WhiteRa. And, you know, a great game by SantaSam too, I gotta say. That was a well-fought game by the Zerg player. At the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. Didn't have enough in the tank to get the GG out of WhiteRa. And, you know, he played a really aggressive start. Almost pushing WhiteRa to the edge. But WhiteRa was able to hang on, and this is going to be the last hurrah here for the Zerg player. Hatchery coming up in the middle of the map. That's funny. And obviously Sam is doing whatever he can to stay in the game, but it's going to be all for naught. He's only at 4 supply. Half of it is being taken by a Mutalisk with 7 HP. The other half is these 2 drones, and that's it. GG. So hope you guys enjoyed. That was a great game and a good kickstart back to casting here in November. I'll have more games coming out for you guys, but for now, this is HD signing out.